In this video, we're going to talk about the similarities and differences in Assetto Corsa Rally versus reality. Hello and welcome everyone. After two comparison videos around Assetto Corsa Rally in the past and a little break, I'm now back. And so is Assetto Corsa Rally. They have by now released the 0.3 update. But more relevant for this video is the 0.2 update, in which the ice track in Livigno was revealed. So I did some research on the internet. The ice driving school in Livigno offers various courses, and I decided to go for the historic course. In this course you can drive a proper old school rally group 2 car, the iconic Ford Escort. It's a rear wheel driven car from 1979 and has 160 horsepower. The Ford Escort is not in Assetto Corsa Rally yet, which is why I was waiting for the 0.3 update to be released. Unfortunately, it didn't come in that update, so we have to make our best guess and see how close we can get. In Assetto Corsa Rally, I had a closer look at the Fiat Abarth, which is closer in terms of age and concept, but which has 245 horsepower, so that's too much. And I looked at the Alfa Romeo GTA 1300 Junior, which is from 1972. It looks a bit ancient as it has a wooden steering wheel, but 163 horsepower is very close to the Ford Escort. Then I had a look at the forecast for Livigno, and it was basically very clear at night and very bright during the day, so ideal weather. Therefore set up the simulation like this, and then did some laps in both cars, and I was clocking times of 56 to 58 seconds. And yeah, once I felt confident, I decided to go to Livigno. Ate some delicious pizza, and then the next thing I know, I went ice driving. So here we are at the ice driving school in Livigno, final preparations for the track being made, the cars being warmed up after an absolutely freezing clear night, and I guess some of you will recognize this place from the game. So it looks exactly the same. We started off with a quick safety briefing, a few introduction laps, and then it was my turn. Alright, let's get into the car. How do you actually get into this car? Okay. And I can tell you it was really, really cold and freezing, different to the simulation.
Alright. And you did everything in second gear, right?
Yes, every time in second gear.
I started really slow, but then quickly became more and more confident with each lap. So, what are the differences compared to Assetto Corsa Rally? The first big difference was the level of grip. The cars in Assetto Corsa Rally had on ice a lot more grip than the Ford Escort in Livigno. A possible explanation for that would be that the cars in Assetto Corsa Rally run with fully studded rally tires, whereas the Ford Escort in Livigno was equipped with semi-studded tires. This makes absolutely sense because as an ice driving school you want to keep the speed of the cars low and at the same time reduce the wear of the tires on the ice track, because over a full season they would just simply eat up the track. Probably also related to the grip of the tire, the next difference was that in the Ford Escort the steering ratio was a lot higher, meaning that you had to steer a lot more than in the game. And this was still the case even if you compared it to the Alfa Romeo GTA, which in the game has already quite a high steering ratio compared to the other cars. And that meant I once lost completely track of how many rotations I did on the steering wheel. And then less overall grip, higher steering ratio, and on top of that, or Because of that, I felt that the Ford Escort was understeering a lot more than the cars in Assetto Corsa Rally. Which I guess is fine, because the cars in the game are probably all set up in a more aggressive race trim.
Gas. You see, you had always the gas on. Okay. You have to release a little bit in turn.
Then in return, in order to get the car oversteering and rotating, you had to be much more aggressive when releasing the throttle. Releasing it almost instant was actually the best way to get into the corner, whereas in Assetto Corsa Rally with the rear-wheel drive cars, you have to be much more gentle when releasing on ice. And then the hardest thing for me was the hairpin. Here we drove the whole lap in second gear, whereas in the simulation I always shifted down into first gear, allowing the differential to open up and the car to rotate easily. And then together with the tendency of the car of having less grip at the front end, I was always understeering a lot in the hairpin.
Now we have, as we are driving a lot on track, we are moving a lot the snow and it's coming the ice. Okay. So now it's more slippery than before.
Yeah, but you helped, right?
A little bit. Now it's what is missing, the aggressive of make it turn the car.
Yeah.
Okay, because now the car turn, but it's like slow on the right, and when you turn left it's difficult to make it slide. Okay, so
So the harder I go on the right, the
yes,
easier.
exactly. Why this? Because you make
okay.
the car snap on the on one part and snap on the
Okay,
other part.
okay.
The driving is good.
Okay.
It's just try to be more aggressive on that point. Open. Slowly. Good job. Gas.
And then this happened. Just listen to the noise.
Okay, we stop. Stop. Now we go on. I think the exhaust comes out.
Ah, okay.
There is it. Try to gas a bit. A little bit. Okay, we go straight there. There was a strange noise.
But I didn't do anything wrong, right? Did I do anything wrong?
Occhio, roba mia, occhio. No, it wasn't your fault.
Yes, also the light.
No, it's the braking. No, it's not your fault. It was a bit loose before.
Okay.
We tried to make it tight, but now I think the vibration, okay,
tight.
it's too high, so
Okay.
we take it out. It's not your fault. It was a good driving now, huh?
Yeah, it was really good.
So you can clearly hear the difference without the exhaust. Let's have a look inside. It looks just raw and really good. And look at this beautiful landscape here in Livigno. Like in the game, I would say. There's the exhaust. Engine is now switched off and it's clearly missing. Yeah, I guess that's the difference between real racing and sim racing. In real racing, parts fall off and the car needs to have some repairs.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry for the problem. Yeah.
No problem. I love it.
We try to.
I love it.
Yeah.
It had a good sound.
Yeah. For the race, yeah.
And yeah, after some repairs, we are now back. Just have another look around. I think it looks pretty much like in the game. The mountains, the surrounding mountains, the little church there in the background. And what a day it was. Yes, another difference between reality and simulation is that your shoes get covered with snow, and you need to get rid of that because it gets really slippery on the pedals.
We have to tan.
Okay. Sounds so good.
Now, yes.
While the car was being repaired, I used this time to set up my race box and then started tracking the laps. And what I saw was that I was running lap times between 120 and 130, which I remembered from the game was a lot slower because in Assetto Corsa Rally I was, depending on the car, running between 55 and 58 seconds. And the question is, where do these differences come from? The most obvious difference is regarding the cones. For safety reasons and for guidance reasons, they placed cones in 4 parts of the track, narrowing down the road, reducing speeds, and therefore increasing your lap time. The next thing was the level of track evolution.
It's starting to be a lot of slippery now.
Okay, so it's getting more slippy now.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know why.
Okay. Because it's getting warmer and...
Exactly. Normally it should go with more grip. At the moment it's going on the opposite way.
Okay, crazy.
So gas.
It's more slippy.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
It's so sleepy now.
Crazy.
No brake. Try. It's like here. It's like on downhill. Okay. If you stay too much on the right, you go up on the uphill. Okay. And the car doesn't slide.
Okay.
Try to stay more on the center of the
okay.
track. Okay. Because the car can slide.
Okay. Because there's too much snow on the outside.
Yes, because it goes up and stops the rotation.
Obviously, that's really hard to simulate in Assetto Corsa Rally, and at the same time was quite unique for that day. So a day in, let's say, December or January would have probably developed totally different. Once I was back home, I took a decent lap from my last stint and compared it against the sim. And what I did in order to get closer to how it felt was basically changing the track status to dirty, and even that wasn't enough. I had to even increase the wetness of the track to up to 80%, and then I was able to do a comparison that looked like this. So 20 seconds difference, where do they come from? We talked already about the overall grip level being less, then the cones reducing the track width. Some of the difference was also down to my ability. I felt that there was still some time left on the table, especially in the hairpin. But then this is reality and you don't have 1,000 laps. Comparing the two videos from the angle of the roof outside the car, I think it looks pretty close. Less grip in reality means less speed, which then leads to more time spent on the straights. But still, overall, I get the impression that the straights were a bit shorter in the game. I guess Livigno in particular is probably really hard to model and laser scan, because this is a temporary ice track, not a permanent racetrack. It's a field, which gets flooded at the beginning of the season, and on top of that they create the track from scratch each year. And the ice driving school probably roughly knows where they put each corner, but I don't think they use a laser or a GPS signal when putting down every cone each year. And then even within one season, depending on the amount of snow, this place can look totally different. Which is basically the beauty of rallying, isn't it? Then let's look at the onboard footage from inside. And here I really thought that the reality just looks so much faster than the game. But then how you perceive speed in a driving simulator is something every driving simulator across the industry struggles to replicate. Even $80 million driving simulators of the big manufacturers have this problem. "20 seconds sounds a lot, but then actually being in the car, I didn't feel that much of a difference, or I couldn't tell where the difference was except for less grip. Overall, Assetto Corsa Rally prepared me really well for this track. I knew the track instantly and I knew how the car would be behaving. And if you use this as your basis, then you can quickly adapt on track. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more, keep racing, and see you next time.
Good job. You are good now, eh?
Yeah?
Drive very good.
Okay, thank you.
Now at the end it was mwah.
Thank you.
You see?
120, yeah. But you can beat it. I'm sure you can beat it.